Hey everyone, this is Anton from Beast in Black and you're watching Chaoszine.
Hi there, you're watching Chaoszine and we are in Helsinki Ice Hall. Tonight Beast in Black is going to have their quite a big show here in Helsinki, and today we're having a little chat with Anton Kabanen. Hi, welcome.
Hey, thanks.
How are you? You're having quite a busy summer as I checked your, gigs. Do you have any free time? How is your time going?
Yeah, time is going quite nicely. We have enough shows. When we released Dark Connection in 2021, I was hoping that we get to tour massively, and that's what's happened. So this is the end of that touring cycle with Dark Connection album, and after this month, August, we go on a small break to focus on writing stuff. So yeah, everything is going pretty well, but I'm really, really hungry for the creative process to indeed like to write.
Yeah, so there haven't been really creative process now because you've been touring.
In a way, like I live the creative process in my mind all the time. I think of topics and themes and hear melodies and riffs and vocal lines, but I haven't been able to properly focus on that, like without disturbance, because whenever you have tours coming up or festival summers, you have to think a lot of things that's related to those production-wise and so forth. So too much disturbance to really focus into writing, but it's been going on all the time, like basically every day of my life. But I really need that time period, like without disturbance, like for many months, to be productive. Because when you have the gigs and other stuff going on, you're not really using your full potential. Like you cannot open your mind fully, so you're kind of going in twice as slow with that creative process amidst the gigs.
As mentioned, you're having a show in Finland today. It's your biggest ever in Finland or ever headline show total?
Maybe it is. I think 2019 when we played here and tonight when we play here, it's in some perspective it's bigger, in some way maybe not. It depends where you look at it. For example, we have more like bigger stuff on stage props wise, but then there's like a smaller riser system. But it's that stuff I'm not really interested about in measuring was this bigger today or the one in 2019. The point is it's one show amongst others, and we always play every show like as good as we can and give our everything and try to enjoy and give that kind of a positive vibe to the audience. And
how do you feel about that, like a huge show in Finland and looking at your summer and long tour and stuff? Like, do you think that indicates something about where you're going as a band? You've been growing pretty fast through the years.
Well, that's the point. Whenever we started this band, we had to make plans, like long-term plans, and for that you have to really think through a lot of things and like talk a lot to the people you're working with. So it's a natural process that, for example, this summer we've played the biggest festival stages we've ever played so far in our career, but that was all like part of the plan. Like we are decided, okay, this summer we are mostly gonna do the main stages of certain like big festivals, and from some of the festivals we've gotten offers years ago, but not for the main stage, and we declined. But sometimes for some festivals we did go to smaller stages because you cannot always like cherry pick stuff, but at some point on certain level you know that okay, I think we have a chance now to
reach people.
You reach more people, and we have to think through what offers to decline and which offers to accept. But I'm not thinking of those things that much. That's why we have Mate and management and booking agencies and all that team. So I try not to think of that. I try to focus on the creative stuff, but still I have to be part of the tour and festival things to some extent, but they do the brain work there mostly.
Yeah. Sure. You have a plan and you know how you want to grow and stuff, but what is there to achieve? What are the main things you think you have to achieve as a band in the future?
To have absolute creative freedom from my side, you have visions and ideas that you want to do on the artistic frontier. That's one thing. And while doing that, it would be great to enjoy the ride. So it feels like you're not wasting your life and your time and your days for it. So it feels that there's a purpose, that you enjoy, that you do something, there's a purpose, and you get to realize the visions, artistic visions. So that's the wish from my side.
So the professional and band-wise things that you can achieve, they are pretty much, together. Or do you see some kind of chances to achieve professionally or grow professionally as a musician and artist?
I mean, when I mentioned to have the vision for certain artistic freedom and creativity, it means that professionally we would need to be in a really high level to be able to do those things, to be on an arena level or stadium level. So yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Do you have anything to reveal about the new music? You said you're going to, focus on the creative process next and stuff, but do you have some plans on publishing something new in the near future?
Yeah, as soon as we are done with this touring, as I said, there's a longer break, and we'll be as effective as we can and release the new stuff ASAP. But God knows how long it's going to take or how fast it's going to be done. I don't know. I wish I knew. But it's ready when it's ready, and it's going to be easily recognizable as Beast in Black whenever you put any song from the new album, even though we don't know and I don't know what's the track list going to be, but more or less I know overall feel. And I know some songs which are definitely going to be on the album, but it's offering something new to some extent. But it's also easily recognizable as Beast in Black, so it's not alienating the fan base. But on the contrary, I think it's something that we hope that it gets a wider audience, this new material, because it's something that people from any genre, who like pop music, metal music, classical music, hip-hop even, or rap, I believe that it's something that anyone could like the mainstream audience would also like our back catalog. But the thing is that we are not Taylor Swift level, or not many bands or any artists in that kind of category. So we don't get the exposure that we would love to have, any metal bands would love to have it. But we've noticed through these years that our audience definitely is really let's say from the whole spectrum. So that's why if we get the right amount of push and resources to get the massive exposure, then I believe the mainstream audience would be good for us. But it doesn't mean we're planning to or calculating to do the creative process a certain way. No, it's always you first close everything outside your mind that's not related to the kind of honest self expression. You try to say the things you want to say and write the things you want to write. And after you've done that part of the process, you have, let's say, the track list is there. Okay, then you switch on the business side of your brain. Okay, now let's see what is the best strategy, how to market this stuff, instead of thinking already from the step one. Okay, let's analyze everything around and what's popular now, and let's write something that reminds a little bit of this and that. No, that's not the way to go. First do 100% honest stuff which you can stand behind, and then after that comes a different process.
You left us songs write themselves and made themselves, and then you see what's the possibility to expand to the audience. Yeah, you released Power of the Beast a while ago, quite a banger, by the way. Is it giving some kind of hint? Is it some kind of guideline to what it's going to be? Is it
Yeah, for sure. To some extent, I even wrote in that quote or something that was shared to the media. I don't know if you've read it. That I wrote there that it's the first of its kind. This kind of a Eurobeast, kind of a tongue-in-cheek description song, but it's definitely not going to be the last that type of a song. So yeah, there's going to be stuff like that. It's not a surprise. It's natural progress, I think, because we've done on the first album Crazy Mad Insane. It's kind of a Italo disco. Then when we did the One Night in Tokyo, it's closer to the Euro dance kind of stuff. So anyone who has heard those songs and followed our career, they are not surprised that we're doing this kind of a Eurobeat.
Yeah, it's been
stuff.
there.
Yeah, it's been there all the time. The signs are there. So it's not even about fully surprising people with that. It's just, well, as a songwriter, what I enjoy at the moment, what resonates strongly in me currently. So obviously it's going to be part of the upcoming album, but it's not going to be a Eurobeat album. We always had different songs on each album. Like, that's how you keep it interesting and fresh, and running water doesn't become stale. So that's kind of the philosophy there.
Yeah, and it must be, nicer to a performer to have, different kind of songs. So there's, more vary. So
yeah, obviously that as well.
Yeah. The aesthetic and everything in the Power of the Beast it's more colorful and stuff. Are you going to take that way, like in the aesthetic and everything to the next album and stuff?
Partially it's going to be something like that, yeah.
What is the best source of inspiration for you right now? Now that you're going again to the creative mode and stuff, where do you get the best stuff right now?
I wish I knew. That's why I need the break.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in a dead end because of this excessive touring. I'm planning other things, and it's kind of worn out certain resources inside me. There's been inspiration from here and there, but nothing like that's dominating over another source of inspiration. So it's quite random. So there's nothing like clear. There are some topics I've thought already a few years ago, already while planning the Dark Connection album's cover art. I remember talking with the cover artist Roman about what the fourth album could be about. Like kind of simultaneously we were doing the sketches there with him, and he was drawing stuff and I was commenting on that and saying, hey, we could maybe go something like this for the fourth album, but for now let's go like that way. So there's been one kind of a thing in the back of my mind for many years, but even that it's kind of on hold. Yeah, I know it's there, but it hasn't specifically inspired me recently. I know it's there, but when I get the break, I can delve back into that topic and start exploring and see how much it really resonates in me still, or if it doesn't.
Do you have some idols or role models who you take influence from, or does your influence and ideas and inspiration come from, Berserk and stuff?
It's from anywhere. At this point, it really doesn't matter where the inspiration comes from. I don't want to close any possible sources of inspiration. That's why I just keep my sensors tuned when I'm awake, basically.
Is there some artists or people who you look up to or find some inspirational?
Not specifically. I mean, I have my favorite songwriters and artists, but it's not like I listen to their music all the time to get inspired or something. Like from Finland, I admired the most Tuomas Holopainen, like as a songwriter and as an artist. He's a good example, like in different levels of being an artist, like the public image and behind the scenes, and like, so that's something to look up for. But then obviously, since I've been listening a lot of Eurobeat, there's the most popular songwriter there is Dave Rogers, by the real name is Giancarlo Pasquini. Italian guy. Overall, my favorite composer has always been James Horner, the one who wrote soundtrack for Braveheart and Titanic. Inspiration is more like what I'm happy about if I get some themes or like lyrical inspiration nowadays, because I think I don't struggle in finding the musical tools to write something, but when I feel emotionally something from a story or from an event or from occasion or from just one line that's somehow strong, wow, that really felt like something, then I can write it down or think of the event or whatever it was and start writing like the musical part. But often I write the music just on its own without even having the theme, and later when I find the themes or like these strong expressions and whatnot, or read a book or watch an interview or something, then I'm thinking, okay, I have this and these songs, I have no idea what they're about, but now these like themes and lyrics which I've written down, where could they be placed to what song? It's kind of a controlled chaos. It's difficult to explain how I do my thing.
I believe that. I guess quite many artists have that kind of controlled chaos. What do you think is the best thing about your own music?
The best thing is if people can enjoy it for a long time. Like, so it's not just something that's popular for a short time and then it disappears. But I hope it's something that the listeners or fans can get motivated, inspired and energized by from now on in the following years and even decades. I think every artist and band and composer wishes, hopes and wishes that they can kind of become immortal, so to speak. Like even when they're long gone, they are nothing but dust. But what they did is remembered, and still it resonates in the next generations because the things that the songs are about are universal. Like I hope that they kind of exceed the boundaries of cultures and nations and all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, and you get to perform it all over the world, so it's great. What is your relationship with touring life?
Love and hate relationship. I love being on stage for that short time, but after that it's so much waiting, which I hate, because you don't have that peaceful like environment to use those long waiting hours for focusing on writing new material. There's always something like that doesn't let you fully dive deep into that. So I really hate it. And when I think how many days out of 1 year I've lost, like, which I could have spent writing and being productive, so that kind of makes me hate the touring life. But I love being on stage, and it's also because we have a good team. I really like our crew, the band, and the whole package who makes it happen. Booking agency, management, and everyone who is involved, because it's good people, like, who have their heart in the right place. So together we can make it like tolerable, even though I'm not the only one who hates the waiting and like traveling. No one really likes it that much, but
do you do some stuff, because some artists say that they mainly just work and sleep when on touring, but do you have time to do something, see places or stuff?
Yeah, sometimes we have like usually a couple of guys who are more active in going to see the cities when we go to a different city, but I'm mostly trying to just rest, and then I might read a book or warm up on my guitar like a couple of extra hours or something.
Yeah. You guys really look, I've seen a few of your shows, and you guys really look like you enjoy being there and that you have fun, because your faces are like suns, as we say in Finland. Do you all enjoy performing just as much as it looks like?
Yeah, like I'd say 90% of the time. When there's those bad days, we try to still give the good energy. Sometimes I just can't, to be honest. I'm like this guy. It's hard to fake my emotions. But I try. It's a learning process because, people have waited for a long time to see our show. You don't want to disappoint them. Yeah, 90% of the time we genuinely enjoy being on stage. And that's why it's worth it, why we're doing it. We wouldn't do this if we would hate it like mostly, but no. All those traveling and waiting hours and other like discomfortable things which come along the way are worth it when you go on stage and you are like, yes, today's a good day. It was worth it. Let's enjoy it. And
finally, since you've done a lot of touring, you must have some, memorable festival stories or something that has happened or something. Could you tell some nice memories or?
Well, I always remember easier for obvious reasons, the recent gigs. For example, Wacken Festival in Germany, we played there for the first time, even though we had the offer to play there a few times already before, but it didn't happen. We only finally decided to go this time, this year. And it was live streamed. I think most of the bands are live streamed from there. And I remember that everyone who saw the gig came telling they could feel how we enjoyed being there on stage and they felt the energy and everything. And then I also checked afterwards, wow, it looks pretty nice. We look like a band. So that was nice. But then a couple of other things. My guitar strap broke 2 times on this festival, so my guitar half fell during the playing. So stuff like that happens, and then those kind of negative things stick to your mind because I'm thinking, okay, that's a weak point, so I have to strengthen it. There's some error there that needs to be fixed, and that's why the brain becomes active on that sector. So today, just 2-3 hours ago, I was talking with our guitar tech. So, okay, do we have a fixed guitar strap so it doesn't fall today?
Yeah.
It was actually last weekend when the second time happened. Then the guitar fell from me during the playing. So it was weird, but nothing dramatic.
Not like extraordinary disasters or anything like that.
No, and even if there are, we try not to show it to the public.
Yeah. It's obviously nice. Hey, have a great gig here.
Thank you.
And I wish you have a great creative season coming next. So
thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Thank
Thanks,
you.
My pleasure.